So I covered Bill Cosby's first trial for the Daily Beast. The first proceedings before there was a mistrial declared. They brought the case again, and he was ultimately convicted and then released again after the Pennsylvania Court of Appeals ruling.
So you were there? Did you meet him?
I didn't meet him. I saw him. I was in the courtroom with him, but he didn't introduce himself to press.
Were you there when he was like, hey?
He didn't say hey. He was, he came in led by a big bodyguard, like kind of holding onto this big bodyguard's arm, and as he walked through the gate, he seemed to kind of try to sit down. The little gate in between when you walk to where the tables are. He kind of tried to sit down a couple feet before he got to the table. So either he was faking being really blind, or he's pretty blind, and his bodyguard had to kind of help him sit down. He seemed really frail. I can see somebody playing up as much as, I'm not saying he did. I would just assume I probably would if I was accused. Would tell, I'm so.
Oh yeah, totally. I thought he was awesome up until all that stuff started coming out. Like I was like, oh man, I want to see Cosby in a stand up. I want to go see him or whatever. And then when that it became clear he was like raping chicks, it was like
the evidence is really strong in that too. And like the public and the press will often sees more than juries see. But the problem in that case, it wasn't that they didn't have evidence, because he was convicted, and he was in prison. And then what the Supreme Court decided was that there was an agreement between Cosby and Bruce Castor, who was the district attorney of Montgomery County? Montgomery County at the time? I'm just trying to remember I think it's Montgomery County where the trial was being prosecuted, but I'm probably getting that wrong. He had an agreement with Cosby that he wouldn't prosecute him, and the idea was that would keep him from being able to invoke Fifth Amendment protections in a civil suit. So Bruce Castor said that he didn't think, because of some problems with the evidence, that they could proceed with prosecution, and he wanted to provide the opportunity for the victim, in this case, Andrea Constand, to get a monetary award if possible. Huh. And she did. There was a civil suit, and she got a monetary award. Then I'm not even going to try to get the timelines right in this. I think it was 2016, 2015, maybe, when the race was. There was a race for district attorney. And the guy who won, one of his it wasn't part of his platform. One of the things he said when he was running was that he would prosecute Bill Cosby with new evidence that had come to light from depositions he'd given in a civil case. And he did so. And the prosecution the defense in that case had actually initially had tried to have the case dismissed because of this agreement with Castor, supposed agreement with Castor. But the judge wasn't buying it then, and was, part of it was that the district attorney wasn't really authorized to grant immunity. There's only judges that are doing that. And, but the Oregon Court of Appeals disagreed. This was a couple months ago, and he was freed. I think they're probably appealing it somewhere.
So he's free right now?
No, I guess they wouldn't be appealing it somewhere else. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, Cosby was released.
Is this like an OJ number 2 type of thing?
It's a really different circumstance than OJ. I mean, there were serious problems with the way that this was handled when Constand first went to the police, and yeah, there were a lot of problems with it that are very different from OJ.
Talkness Monster Podcast.